This is Sean Rad, the man who founded Tinder. Why did he do it? How did he do it? And what can the average non-tech founder learn from him? That's what we'll cover in this video. Everybody knows Tinder. Your grandma knows Tinder. How do I know? We swipe right on each other's last week. Relax, just a joke. By the end of this video, you understand how Tinder came to be and 7 key factors that contributed to its success. Actually, there's 8. Sean Rad himself is a factor. So let's learn a bit about the man and what makes him such a good founder. The story of Sean Rad. People like Sean Rad are what we might call serial inventors. They are addicted to solving problems. When they see a gap that's not addressed, they can't get it out of their head. And if there's no solution, they'll make one. Sean Rad started his first tech company in 2005. Orgo was a webmail service that compiled different email addresses, contacts, and instant messaging friends. He was pursuing a business degree at the time and dropped out of college to grow it. It flopped. Frankly, so what? How many people can actually say they succeeded the first time they tried something? I don't know Sean Rad personally, but this was his first real venture into the tech space. And the first few tries are meant to be learning opportunities. It's not just tech and app development. Think of our first attempts at anything: relationships, hobbies, side hustles. I'm not saying it's impossible to succeed the first time. Some do, most will flop. What matters is how we respond. Option number 1, we can accept this isn't for us and move on to something else. That's fine. Life is too short to chase things you don't want. Or option 2, we can learn from our mistakes, find the next opportunity, and try again, which is exactly what Sean did. In 2009, he founded his second software company, Adly, a platform that connects social media influencers and celebrities to corporate sponsors. This time, Sean's company was successful and continues to do well until this day. Here's the thing, halfway through the success of Adly, Sean sold his stake and went on to found another software company called Cardify. This is important because it says a lot about what motivates Sean. Again, I don't know him personally, but it's pretty clear what drives him is not being successful, but becoming successful. The joy doesn't lie in owning, but in creating. Once he's created something successful, time to move on to the next one. If all Sean wanted was money and fame, he would have stopped after Tinder. Because how do you outdo yourself after that? You don't. Instead, in 2017, 5 years after Tinder was launched, Sean co-founded All Voices, an employee feedback app that allows workers to send anonymous reports directly to company leaders and bypass middle management. Even as far back as 2013, Sean was one of the founding members of Good Today, a charity organization that allows people to donate to a charity of their choice with as little as 25 cents a day. Just to drive the point home, in a 2018 interview, Sean stated that he's very passionate about investing in new and upcoming startups that can make a difference. He said, and I quote, "As an entrepreneur, I can then think about creating things that no one in that investment pool has heard about." You won't find mindless entertainment in Sean's portfolio. Everything he touches involves using technology to solve very real problems faced by humanity. And if we are honest with ourselves, what is the most basic, primal, foundational problem we as a species face? Getting laid.
Nice.
That brings us to the story of Tinder. Tinder isn't the first dating app, but it is the most successful. Why? It combined online dating with the blind double opt-in. Sean's frustration with existing dating apps and sites before Tinder was the fact that all they did was create a database of users for you to check out and message. It was still scary to initiate contact with someone you liked for fear of rejection, and many people don't even bother to say hi at that point. In other words, all they did was replicate real life without improving it. The double opt-in only allows contact once both parties have independently indicated a desire to communicate. In other words, when you are sending that first hello, you already know the receiver is open to a conversation. It sounds obvious now, but we've had the benefit of taking this feature for granted. There was a time where it didn't exist until Sean Rad did something about it and changed the world. That's pretty much the why of Tinder. Now let's look at how. Remember how Sean sold his stake in Adly and went on to found another startup? That startup was part of an incubator called Hatch Labs. Incubators are organizations that help startups and small-time entrepreneurs develop their businesses from the ground up with support services and ultimately capital investment. In exchange, they own a percentage of your business and whatever profits you generate. The same year Sean joined Hatch Labs, there was a hackathon.
Adrian, what's hackathon?
Well, hackathon is an event where you bring together a team of 2 to 5 people comprising of roles involved in software development. You're talking programmers, UI UX designers, product and project managers, and industry experts. For the next 24 to 48 hours, they just sprint. By that, I mean the agile sprint, to rapidly brainstorm and design solutions. The goal is to create a functioning product by the end of the event. I've personally never been to one because Upstack Studio takes up most of my time, but man, it's on the bucket list for sure. The Wikimedia Hackathon sounds like so much fun. One day. This hackathon by Hatch Lab was meant to see what ideas its people were cooking up in their heads. Around this time, Sean and his college mate, Justin Mateen, already had an idea for a dating app based on mutual attraction, aka the double opt-in. At this hackathon, Sean got paired with Hatch engineer Joe and they built a prototype called Matchbox. It was a huge success and Hatch Labs poured their considerable resources into further developing it. Matchbox would soon change its name to Tinder for a very boring and unimportant reason I won't mention. This was all in 2012 by the way. By early 2013, Tinder already had 400,000 users. It's now 2023 and Tinder has 75 million monthly active users from over 197 countries. So Tinder didn't just start strong and fizzle out. It's gone from strength to strength and never really stopped the upward trajectory in spite of some pretty major issues along the way. But those issues are not really relevant to Tinder's success, so I won't spend too much time on them. What non-tech founders can learn from Tinder? Factors leading to early success. Number 1, addressing a real market gap. Tinder was built to address a very specific gap in the market that was causing users frustration. There was no better way to identify gaps like these than seeing it in the flesh. Sean and his co-founder lived through a specific struggle and designed something that would improve life for those that came after them. It's important to do formal market research to validate the gap, but noticing it in the first place is something founders really have an eye for. They have an ability to perceive how things can be done better. Hey guys, if you found this useful, please subscribe and like this video. It really helps me grow this channel and reach more people. Okay, back to the video. Number 2, startup-friendly environments lead to speed. It's business and product development. Yes, a certain level of quality is maintained, meaning you don't ship out poop. But you gotta get things done fast. Brainstorm fast, design MVP fast, test fast, launch fast, and especially fail fast. Sean Redd was in the perfect environment for this. He was with Hatch, an incubator whose function was to accelerate SaaS startup. The initial Matchbox prototype was built in February 2012, but it was only in August 2012 that the team really started to focus on it. Just 1 month later, they were able to soft launch the app and test it on real users. In the first place, Hatch was where Sean met his technical co-founder, Joe Munoz. I hope I'm saying that right. Hatch was also where Sean would meet his future co-founders. Secondly, thanks to Hatch backing, the Tinder team didn't have to worry about funding or resources. At one point in 2014, Sean was considering an offer that valued Tinder at $750 million. The man was like, meh. It's nice, but we don't really need the money. Imagine not having to worry about keeping your project going during its early days and just focusing on perfecting your product. If only my stuff would work for free. Number 3, knowing their user persona. I'm going to show you 2 pictures. You tell me who's more likely to use Tinder. Pretty easy. Let's try another set of photos. If you choose the picture on the left, all I can say is Tinder is a solution for a young person's problem. Of course, today Tinder's age bar goes from 20 to 100 plus, but 60% of its users are under 35. One of Tinder's co-founders, Justin Mateen, marketed Tinder by introducing it to influencers at elite schools and colleges. The team would organize parties where you could only attend by showing that you've downloaded the app, similar to how Facebook advertised in their early days. They knew who they were selling to and how to sell them. Finding a great technical co-founder. It's what every non-technical founder's dream, to find a technically savvy person who shares their vision and wants to be a co-founder rather than someone on a payroll. Joe Munoz was a great addition to the Tinder team. If you look at his Crunchbase profile, he's got a really respectable list of accomplishments. I will say this, not everyone is so lucky. Alex Turnbull, the man behind Growth HQ, spent months looking for his tech partner, couldn't find one. Eventually, he did the next best thing. He hired a trustworthy app development agency. I'll link to my video on him at the end because I think he has a few nuggets of wisdom to share. Factors leading to continued success. Understanding the world doesn't just mean America. In the same interview I mentioned earlier, Sean had this to say on thinking big.
No, I tend to not think about companies as local versus global. If you don't sort of think of yourself as global day one, what you're going to find is there's going to be a lot of disappointed customers around the world who've heard about your product but can't use it. So at Tinder, in the very early days, we saw this. We saw word traveling. And for us, it wasn't enough to just localize the app in different languages. We really wanted to understand what made every country unique. You can't take the approach as a global company that what works in one country works in every country. There are sort of universal things that make us human and universal behaviors, but everyone's different and there are different cultural impacts.
That last sentence is such a holy yes moment for me. All humans want to feel the same things. Peace of mind, convenience, a sense of achievement, acceptance, validation, and many more. But what makes us arrive at those feelings are different from person to person. So what did Sean do about it?
The way to really capture that learning is to have feet on the street in every market. In the first, I would say 3 months, we had teams in every country bringing us feedback and advocating for the users in those countries and telling us how we can improve the product, not just as a whole for everyone, but also within that market.
That was so refreshing to hear. I'm going to offend some people here, but I think it needs to be said. Many of us are so culturally insulated, they don't know it, and that's going to be a problem if you want to reach overseas users. Continuously iterating. Look, in just a few months after launching, Tinder already had hundreds of thousands of users who loved the blind double opt-in. But Tinder has never been one to stop innovating or iterating, as a developer would call it. The ability to swipe left and right, arguably Tinder's most app-defining feature, only came about a year after Tinder was launched. And if we are honest, Tinder has a bunch of interesting features that only got added later. Some are kind of memey, like work mode, where the web app would immediately project a work document at a click of a button so you can safely use the app at work without getting caught. Others are much more conducive to relationship building, like the Are You Sure feature. Can't say you accidentally sent out pictures of your enoki mushroom now, guys. To everyone watching, this is what I would like you to take away from this story. So what if Sean Rhett's a non-technical founder? Really? It didn't matter. He found someone who could provide the very critical technical support, and everything else is just good business principle. Identifying a market gap, know your user persona, build a good team, build an MVP fast, never stop iterating, make sure you have funding. That's basically what all businesses do. The mobile app space is just a bit more specific about the requirements of a good team. If only you knew a trustworthy, handsome, and skilled mobile developer who could help you bring your dream to life. If only. Just kidding. But not really. Hire me. Meanwhile, check out this video on another successful non-tech founder, Alex Turnbull, who actually didn't have a technical co-founder by his side. Make sure you like and subscribe, and Alex and I will see you in the next video.